Device is the latest superstar to transition into the IGLing role. And star players as IGLs does not have a good track record. With NiKo's awful attempt IGL'ing FaZe, BlameF in the end of Complexity and Astralis, but maybe just maybe, Device is just built different. Let's start to look at some crucial rounds between FaZe and Astralis, and how Astralis destroyed the world's best team. We are starting on Ancient, and it's Astralis map pick. And this round is the first proper buy round from both teams. And yes, Astralis still has a Galil, while FaZe has a Galil and SMG, but in all the terms and economy of both teams, well, this is a full buy. FaZe will start in a 1-2-2 early on, and this is done to have two spots with two players take a lot of control fast. So we will see FaZe throw this early smoke in bottom middle to block any T's out, and then they will take bottom mid, by molotoving in front of the smoke and pushing down. While on B, Karrigan will stay on B until Rain has taken cave control. Then Karrigan will fall back to mid and help his mid players. And then Brokey with the AWP will be playing solo on A. And he is set up behind the box here, since he will have this shadow advantage and shift walk advantage. Safe from most flashes, as well as it's easy to fall off and play safe if needed. Astralis on the other hand are going 2 players outside of B, 2 in mid and 1 in main, as the lurker towards A. Astralis has this fun setup where they will use a smoke and a flash to get bro out to A site to challenge the AWP. And this is done to force rotations over from FaZe clan. And since most pro teams does zoned rotation. Wait, I should explain that. Let's get a map of all the 5 FaZe players, and then let's only have bro pushing to make the editing part easier for me. Here you can see when bro is pushing out, this will force Brokey to fall off to here and not challenge too much. Since he's alone and if he dies he loses both the AWP and sight, and the AWP is in a place where you can't really get it back from. This will force either the B player to run over or a zone switch, where one player from mid will go to donut and then one on B will pick up the missing spot in mid, and then leave B weaker. This will be key. As we can see, Brokey and bro gets both tagged up, and this will now allow the 2 B players of Astralis to peek out of ramp and take control of it, and see how well Astralis is playing around this rotation. Bro will walk out so Astralis can make sure B is weaker. And by that logic, it's usually ramp that is the weakest, and not cave since that's where many people take it early. As well as in mid, FaZe has had an issue. They have smoked here and molotoved here, and this has created a gap Stair can push behind and get a lot of bottom mid information. And this allows Stair to spot Rain, but since Astralis is smoked out from Rain, well, they will only need to focus on ramp. And this smoke here is a smoke to set up Rain to be able to push out from cave, but in this scenario it has backfired. Astralis in ramp will have the player the furthest up looking long, while the player further behind will be watching short. And here they can find Karrigan.
They are sneaking up the gap. No one's holding ramp right now. It's, Karrigan with his knife out, charging to check it, and whoa, rude.
This kill will force Rain to either go cave or push the smoke, and here Astralis are set up ahead. And here the bomb waits for this and can find Rain. So from playing the rotation game, that has netted Astralis 2 kills to 0 death. And see how powerful this is. FaZe has no money left, so losing the site is not ideal. But FaZe might be able to retake it. They have 3 players left, but since they rather want to save, they will have to give this up. Even though FaZe can find 2 kills to equalize it, it's insane to see how well Astralis played. And just a nice play. Here Brokey is holding this spot like this. He is not too open for cave or too much out. And Astralis boosts a player over to find the player under the box. Perfect understanding on how FaZe likes to save.
And of course, Na'Vi, major champions, is not here to voice any concerns.
No, exactly.
How can you doubt it?
Now is the time. Oh, I like that. Cheeky boost. Oh, love it.
Astralis has had a stellar start with a 5-0 lead, but this round is a key round in understanding how Device works as an IGL. Let me show you after this round. Both teams are on a full buy, but even though Astralis has a massive lead, their money is not the best, and that makes this round quite important for them as well. FaZe starts the round with the default bottom mid smoke thrown like this, as well as now going 2 players on A and not B, and set up in a 2-2-1 instead of the default 1-2-2. Why? Well, as we saw in round 3, FaZe were quite weak as soon as they would be pushed on A and forced to rotate. And FaZe will now meet this by ramping up the defense on the A side early to win more control and then rotate from there. Then the 2 mid players of FaZe are still near the little spot that is open between the molotov and the smoke, and then taking full bottom mid control from that. And then the last player on B will be playing in this off angle, just so we can get a 1-for-1 trade if needed. Astralis are going for 1 outside of B as the lurker, then 1 in mid, and here Astralis uses a great smoke from spawn to distinguish the molotov. FaZe throws. Listen to the casters in a different round.
What's Device lining up? Is this the donut, Jibby? Something. So spawn something. What are you cooking here?
Could be the mid low.
Mr. Eats.
It depends if there's a... Yeah,
Did he tap W?
that's what I was looking for.
Yeah. That's cool.
It is the mid. Oh, it's an extinguish. Okay. Oh!
Oh, yo! Frozen's gone.
One mid player can push more, but he is met by a nade that does some damage to him and he has to fall back. And then Astralis has 3 players going A main. FaZe towards A main has 2 players with a good spawn pushing in, where the best one will push on the right side of cave and play from this off angle, while the other player will be in this off angle. And this is done so when the first player on the right side makes contact, the second A main player can either swing on this contact or hold for the trade coming from the left side. And FaZe finds 3 kills. 2 kills were just bad on the spacing part by Astralis, since they walked into each other, and then Bro is too focused on getting the trade, and Broken can clear him up quite quickly, and FaZe has gotten a massive opening.
Oh, this is trouble. This is trouble. This is beautiful. Robs with a double. Brokey there activates as well. A lovely change up.
And FaZe here falls off to play the 5v2 properly and not give Astralis any 1v1 fights. And since they have one player solo on B, they are not safe yet. FaZe uses a great flash here towards cave to set up Rain, and here Yubby is full blinded and found by Rain. And the Chad himself is not done. In the 5v1, he just solo peeks and destroys Stair. Is FaZe back?
Ancient. Flash in, well placed. Rain will finish this one off, but now it is Stair.
The Stair here. Rain's gonna pop him. Oh, consider yourself bopped.
Look at the round counter. How did FaZe go from a 0-5 score to a 5-5? Well, when you as the IGL have been on a roll and won a lot of rounds, you might lose focus and default to what used to work. And when the enemy team starts anti-stratting you, you might not understand what is happening, so let's quick fire some rounds to understand how Astralis fucked this lead up so badly. In round 7, Astralis went for the correct read and rushed A side, where FaZe had no players early. But Astralis just lacked the funds to make this competitive, and here FaZe took the round. The biggest misplay from this round was the Astralis player peeking before the donut smoke, and just no trades at all to be honest. Round 9 and FaZe are back to the default. A default Astralis were able to win 5 rounds against, so what happened? Well, a lack of map control. The plays Astralis went for were great in theory, by pushing both Fortnite and bottom mid, so you can easily win mid control. But since Astralis got flashed and made noise jumping back, as well as bottom mid being held from the boxes makes it so the bottom mid player can't be traded if he dies, and quickly Astralis found himself losing 2 players early to no trades. In round 6, 8 and 10, Astralis just had the disadvantage of the economy, and this allowed FaZe to rather comfortably come back to this game in the first half, a massive issue where Astralis stressed to win rounds when they could buy, but maybe not understanding how important these buys were, since losing them forced them into ecos right after. In round 18, Astralis are going for a fun setup. Both teams are full buying into this round, with Astralis having an AWP and 2 SMGs, and yes, they could have upgraded, but they've kept these guns for a reason, while FaZe has 5 rifles on their side. Astralis are using 2 smokes early, one bottom mid and one on the door outside of B like this. Good smokes, here are both lineups. Astralis will use this one more than other teams, with 2 players in mid, where one will take bottom mid and hold the smoke Astralis through early on, while the other will go up here and get ready to fight with the B players. Then Astralis' 3 B players will smoke the door. This forces the T to either push out of the smoke or force them to wait it out. And then the cave player will spam here to try to find a kill, since FaZe has smoked them off from ramp. FaZe uses this smoke here to make sure Astralis can't get too much B ramp control while FaZe are smoked off, as well as then using this flash over the door to force Astralis to react, and this will give FaZe info. And the reaction they get from Astralis are some spams from 2 players on the left side of ramp. FaZe uses this pop flash and now peeks out, and see how FaZe is so focused on the left side of ramp, since that is the info they had. But Yubby behind the smoke can find 1 kill, since the spam from Fortnite is not that hard to do, and he can fall off. But Astralis wants to take back ramp control. Like, why else would you invest so many players in ramp just to get 1 kill and fall off? Here they will use this flash and nade, and here Yubby can find 2 more kills. Sadly, Robs changed the gun at the wrong time. And then the ramp player will buy this time and trade Yubby, and quickly it's 3v1 in Astralis' favor. A great way to focus your resources at the correct spot on the map at the right time.
Oh, wow, Karrigan gets away with 1. Robs can't find the rebuttal. Not at all. Yubby will double up. It's from ramp. It's chaotic. It's a brawl. It's a biff.
We are over to Nuke, and there are 2 CT rounds I will go over to show you the depths of the Astralis playbook, even on the CT side. Astralis again starts off the match great with a 1-4 lead. And remember, Nuke was once Astralis' best map with over 30 wins in a row on the map. This round is a key round. For FaZe, it's their chance to get another round on the board and has full bot, while Astralis, this is their chance to try to build a bank and steal away this first half. Astralis starts the round with 2 players outside using this combo of utility, to make sure FaZe can't get any early information from outside. And then Stavn will go into A main to hold that side, both listen safely from here and be ready to peek out if needed, while the Vice on the AWP will fall back to A site. And the rest of Astralis are 2 more players on A in quite a default setup with a Molotov on door and then 1 in ramp. An interesting setup with leaving garage open. But this is done since garage alone is quite weak to silo peaks, double peaks and just smokes, since these 2 smokes are the most common at the highest level of CS on Nuke. FaZe are going 3 players outside boosting the AWP up here, and they have 2 players in lobby, with 1 watching ramp and Rops in this off angle, where FaZe as well will smoke the door Molotov Astralis throws in hope to fake something. And look how strong it is to not even have a garage player early. This forces FaZe to spend time watching and holding it from outside. FaZe wants to take more outside control and here throws these 2 smokes, 1 for under heaven and 1 for A main, and then they will fight all the other spots they are not smoking off. But Yobby finds Rops trying to push out on a timing, in hope that the A main player will not hold door. Only issue is that Astralis had 4 players on A at some point, so there will always be a player watching for this, perfectly read. But the Vice is found in the open, so FaZe equalize quickly. Frozen finds Yobby doing what Rops tried and pushes the smoke, and here Yobby is found. But it's not too bad, since look at ramp, Astralis will have 1 player that can trade. And the trade is sloppy, but Frozen is found. And Astralis finds the kills on FaZe, who are just playing quite 1 by 1, and they can take the round with 2 players left.
If he gets another one, bro, nearly. 2v2.
I know for Rain.
Oh, it's not planning for Rain. He just has to nail this shot. He has to nail this shot. And he hasn't. Stair will convert, and it's another Astralis round.
Astralis keeps having these amazing leads, but no money to back it up. It's 8-3 and Astralis are buying 2 SMGs and 1 pistol into the final round of the half, while FaZe has 5 rifles, so how will Astralis play this? Astralis starts with similar utility to what we saw last round we broke down. This time the Vice with only M4 goes here to hold A main and outside pushes towards A. Then Astralis has 2 players on A side, 1 close to the outside smoke and main, and the last in ramp, while FaZe are set up with 4 players outside and only 1 in lobby. And here FaZe meets Astralis utility with some of their own, and FaZe are the first to throw hands. Here Rob starts by walking out to the vents, and Yobby wants to counter this and here walks down to the broken vent, anticipating that FaZe will drop down. And here Robs rather after the smoke fades, goes to clear A main before he is spotted. This clear is crucial. This allows Karrigan to use the outside smoke wall to push into A main, and here he finds the first kill of the round. And these smokes made the Vice position quite useless early on. Karrigan then walks out of A main and out of the smokes, and here is spotted by the Vice. So the Vice can tell this to the Heaven player, and see how ready Stavn is for this. He even walked out of the window when he can't spot anyone pushing under Heaven and finds Karrigan. So the Vice position was somewhat useful after all. As well as the Vice on this peeks out and finds Rain, and Astralis has won the fight for the man advantage. And this makes the weird positions of Astralis look quite good. FaZe tries to go out of the door, and here the main player takes first contact and both him and Rops must be whiffing. But Yobby in the vents can kill Rops, this forces the second door player to focus Yobby, and here the main player can find him. And FaZe are down to only 1 player left, how? And Frozen is just pushed and Astralis takes a dominating lead into the next half.
He's bringing the fight behind the smoke, finding the angle. Rops should be pre-aiming, no bullets! But it's still Yobby on the ladder. Good for another. Device onto Brokey. I can't quite believe it. Astralis with 4 alive. Frozen's alone. He's in trouble. The round is gone. On the ladder, no less. Spray to rub salt into the wound. Leave him alone.
Astralis was the first team to secure the top spot in their groups after going 5-0 in maps, beating all of their opponent without anyone getting more than 7 rounds against them, winning 19% of their pistol round, and just straight destroying all of the teams they faced. So what is the strong side of the Vice IGLing? Pistol rounds in MR12 are key rounds. So I want to look over and see why Astralis are so good in these rounds with a 90% win rate. Let's start with the T side. This is a great example of how fast Astralis is to not waste their utility. The round starts with FaZe having 2 players on B, quite an odd setup with 1 in the cubby, 1 behind the pillar and 1 far back, to easy rotate over if needed. And here Astralis are not focusing mid, but rather using these smokes to cut off the 1 player backside, molotoving out the player on the pillar, and then just pushing on this, and here they can just run over FaZe and take the site from there.
Forced wide, perfect util usage, and the Jewel Beretta's empty-handed. It's down with a quick double.
What you can see on the CT side is a different Astralis. On ancient T side, Pistol, Astralis were fast and calculated with their utility usage and then the side take. But here on the CT side, they are just standing still, not taking any unnecessary fights, and they don't have to. Look how unsure FaZe gets. Here, FaZe gets ready to take A, but walks back since they got no info of how Astralis is playing here. Walks to middle where they can barely get any info. While all of this is happening, Astralis still stays put and waits, and then when FaZe goes to B, well, they are shut down within some seconds due to Astralis' amazing positioning, since before FaZe went B, Astralis rotated some players over, but with some players leaving B, we saw Yabbi push down ramp to win back some map control. The B players loses when the players rotate away.
He's into the side stair, might be ahead of their expectations, he's got himself a double, oh, and a triple from stair, miraculous in defense.
In this round, I want to highlight the retake Astralis did here. It's a 3v3 retake and FaZe does not have the best position with one player backside, one single door and one in vent. But Astralis still needs to find the players. Astralis is set up in the retake with only device in ramp, only player close to site. But look at what he does. He walks out of ramp and clears stuff. It's all about not wasting time. So if he feels it's safe to clear ramp and towards site, he should do it so his teammate have less to worry about going for the retake. In the meantime, the last two Astralis players will join him in ramp and just not give FaZe any 1v1 fights. But look here, when Astralis takes site, they have one taking window and double door, one jumping down to clear darker and the left side of site, and then the last player on top of here to fight the site player. So here they split up but still allows themselves to be able to trade each other. And this pays off as Astralis wins the retake with 2 players alive.
Running out of bullets, one left, has to opt for the reload, and with the loss of Karrigan, this gets awkward, just like that from stair.
VP is known as a slow team when it comes to tactical rounds, and the pistol round, even though it's random, it's quite tactical, and here Astralis wants to abuse this with a 4-man B setup. Here, since they know VP are slow, they will have 3 players taking monster control, since if VP is not here, you got the info about how VP are set up. And on the flash that is thrown like this, Astralis finds 3 kills to 2 deaths, so quite good trade.
Oh, Europe are waking up to watch. Oh, it's a... Oh, Jambi gonna find 2. Norbert.
And to be honest, here if Astralis had one more flash on the player flashing, he would have been able to flash and get everyone away, so completely safe. But they still keep the man advantage. But what Astralis does after is great. Here they uses the 2 B players to boost like this, just to find a free kill and play safe. And then send one player to A side using this jump to get early info and still be able to fall back safely. And as well as boosting the low player, so he can have more impact with his low HP, and Astralis takes the pistol round.
They're saving the utility. I think they're going to try and, save the utility for the post plant. That might never come. We'll see. James loses his head. Norbert's got to find 5 in total. Oh, the nade.
Something we saw versus FaZe, how well Astralis understands rotation, but at a different level. They understand how to abuse it as well. So let's break this down. To understand why FaZe rotates here, since by the looks of it, it does not make sense at all. Well, we need to go back. Just some seconds. Perfect. So Astralis starts the round by sending 3 players in middle. And here they have one goal, kill the mid players of FaZe. Since by doing this you will force FaZe to worry about mid and use some resources over to mid to help them out, while FaZe are in a 1-1-3 setup, so mid is quite crucial for them to hold and have control of. And here Frozen is found rather quick, and FaZe has lost mid, and now let's go back to the execute.
Okay. Oh, yo, Frozen's gone.
And look what Astralis does. They use the mid player to be their fast lane to B site, and here with just some smokes they will force FaZe to have some players going and helping in mid. And look at the timing, as soon as FaZe walks out, since FaZe had to at some point send their players to look mid to see what was happening there, and they played into Astralis' hand.
Yeah, no one's holding it.
And they're evacuating.
Oh, they're walking through, because of course you lost mid control, Robs. He's called for backup, and now it's just Karrigan here with an SMG. This is working poetically.
VP is such a hard team to trick with forcing them to rotate, but Astralis were still able to do it in some few rounds, so let's try to learn from that. Such a tactical team as Virtus.Pro still manages to fall for one of the oldest tricks in the book. Early on, Astralis has one goal, to find a ramp player and kill him. And this player is a key cornerstone in any Vertigo CT setup. He controls maybe the most important spot on Vertigo. When this player is removed from the round, this forces any CT to send the mid player over to help A, and then have the B player take mid, to do a full-on zone rotation. And here Astralis wants to abuse this. Here Astralis finds the first player, and look at VP. Their B player on that kill is already rotating over to A, while the mid player stays a little bit longer before he rotates as well. and Astralis lurker can walk up on site and get so much control and info, and Astralis can get full site control of 2 entries and a great timing on the lurk.
In the interim, we have gained control on B. That's got to be the round, you know. The bomb will look to join bro in just a sec. Yabby.
This round plays off the same concept, but Astralis does not get an early opening. So how are they still forcing rotations? Well, first of all, Virtus.Pro starts with 4 players on A since they have a lower buy. And usually on lower buys, you are faster to rotate, since with the lower buys, as a solo B or mid player, can't have much impact. And here Astralis uses a lot of utility to make it look like they are all in on a ramp take. And look at the B players of VP. He is going back and forth, so unsure what to even be going for and looking at, since he has no mid players. While Astralis on all of the ramp distraction is able to walk and take middle. But here Astralis stops all of the ramp utility and noise, and this forces VP to overreact to this. And this gets them paranoid, and 3 out of the 4 A players all goes middle, and here the boost from Astralis can find 1 player and boom, they have the man advantage. And this kill forces the A players to help in mid, since for Virtus.Pro it's better to maybe get some kills in mid than to have 1 player stuck on A getting ran down. And here we are seeing Astralis with just some clever utility and kills are able to ruin VP's setup twice with how they rotated around the map.
A dodgy buy into this one because they kind of have to. Yeah, it's really not looking too good. So 7 most definitely on the cards for Astralis after that first frag, of course. However, I was going to say 5-7. It's not even through the smoke though. Yabby had spotted him on the edge. Down goes Mir. Now it's a save. And indeed, Astralis keep the winning streak going.
Well, thanks for watching and hopefully you enjoyed my breakdown. And I can't wait to see the Danish powerhouse versus either FaZe or Liquid. To see if this team can be capable of achieving many things we thought they would months ago. And remember, this was a team that was supposed to be insane, so it's good to see they're trying to get better again. Or maybe it's just a honeymoon phase, we have to wait and see. Here are 2 videos YouTube told me you would like. Thanks for watching, bye.